Okay.
Woohoo!
You checked the mic though, right? You had checked it, right?
Yeah.
It works fine? Good. Testing. Yep. It's
We're
working
good, yeah.
back here.
What's up, guys? We're live. Second time around. Sorry for being late.
Yeah, technology. Okay, so we're back to our Lebert Fitness monthly live. I'm here with
Donovan?
and the franchise here, Mark Lebert, of Lebert Fitness. We're gonna go through enhanced bodyweight training part 2, okay? Hopefully you caught last month where we focused mainly on the upper body. This week we're gonna focus on the lower body. Let's touch base why Lebert Fitness is, what's the word I'm looking for, I won't say the originator, but the home of enhanced bodyweight training. Okay, yes. Well, tell me why. Why is this the case?
Well, yeah, just as Donovan mentioned, this is our second live with enhanced bodyweight. So go back to the one previous because there's a lot of great content in there. I'm not just saying that, but once we get going, there's lots we can share, and an hour goes by like that. Why is it enhanced bodyweight? Well, because, we love bodyweight training. Don and I have been doing it forever. He's been in athletics, he's been in football, I've been in martial arts and boxing, and a lot of the stuff that we did was with our body only. But once we started, utilizing equalizers, I came up with this as a tool for in-home training and just really basically enhancing body weight. So rather than just doing, push-ups on the ground, I can now do dips, and I can do the inversion of that with the pull-ups. So enhanced body weight gives us a lot more options. It's fun. You got some variety. It's challenging. And you don't need a lot of money or time.
You do not. And when you think of it, those are natural movements that we do in our daily lives, okay? And just think, if you want to make it to 60, 70, 80 years old, this is the foundation you have to create. You don't need the big box gyms. You don't need all those complicated machines. You just need to be able to squat. You need to be able to pull. You need to be able to push, right? That's what we're talking about right now. Yeah,
there's so many options out there. And don't get me wrong, I love a good rack and a cable machine. But honestly, if I need a workout with press for time, or if I don't have a lot of equipment, simple body weight training and add a couple tools. Like we'll show you some great stuff at the bar here that we have now, the resistance bar, the equalizers, and the hit system, and that's it. Good to go.
So,
yeah,
okay. So we'll walk you through some of the great lower body exercises we have come up with that through the years of owning this facility. By the way, we both own Lebert Fitness Nation right now, which we are standing in. We run classes, boot camp classes, and boxing 7 days a week. But these tools are used on a daily basis. These exercises are used on a daily basis, so we know that these work and target the areas that you are looking to target.
Boot camp, boxing, body weight, anything with a B, really. We love all the B's. Beer. So, yeah, to Don's point, a lot of times we'll get people that come back from some of the mainstream gyms and they've lost their cardio and their conditioning, and they're putting the weight back on because they're doing 10 reps and then they're talking to someone. You get into a boot camp, you get into a boxing, there's some energy expended. And if you want to get really strong, we don't do a lot of heavy duty weight training per se here. We move our body weight. We do some weight training, but predominantly it's use of body weight and enhancing our body weight with these tools. So
100%. And again, just a reminder, because we are on YouTube, please subscribe, okay? Push that button. It's so important to us. I will just remind you that on a regular basis. This is our second time on YouTube, so we're we're pumped about it, okay? So what are we gonna start off with?
Follow us for sure. Yeah, and speaking of affordable, just wanted to do a quick pitch here. Guys, our yellows are on sale, 30% off. So if you're seeing this now, go grab them. It's absolutely, they're a great value before that, so absolutely crazy.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with some of the basics. So when we think about body weight, we think about legs. We can do squats, we can do lunges, a lot of quad dominant exercises. We're going to show you some hamstrings. We're going to show you some adductors. We're going to show you a little bit of everything. And we're going to do all those exercises with the equalizers and with the hit system and with the bar. Sound good?
Sounds amazing.
Okay, so let's start with some of the basics. You're going to grab an equalizer. And I think we showed this on the last one, but I'm going to show you again because I really love this. We're going to really take our squat to the next level. So we're going to use the equalizer as a counterbalance. And as we come down, we're going to squeeze in. So we're going to squeeze in, come out, pull apart. Down, squeeze in, come out, pull apart. One more time, squeeze in and pull apart. So what am I doing here? Well, I'm doing a bunch of things. One is I'm kind of prepping my upper body muscles while I'm doing my squat. So the chest squeeze and the pull apart for obviously the chest, shoulder, scapula. And then I'm working on getting some body weight squats going. And don't sleep on body weight squats. Just because an exercise isn't loaded doesn't mean it can't be tough. You can make it real tough with slowing the descent, doing static holds at the bottom, doing pulses, and just simply by volume. Okay, so we're starting with squats.
Okay, good, perfect. No, I like it. Oh, no, definitely. Okay. So what I'm going to add into, and then you can kind of walk me through it also, is I love doing an assisted squat that you can get out of this, right? So from here, for somebody who maybe has limitations, they don't feel comfortable squatting, maybe they have balance issues, you can use this where they would just sit back and then use that for support. We come up and squeeze the top. Correct? Yeah.
Great assisted squat. Also a good exercise to start to get them used to doing tricep dips.
Yeah. Perfect. Just like that through there. Okay.
And you can use equalizers for assistance in squat also if you have some limitations in your ankle mobility, and you just put your feet right up on the T-legs, and then I can go down into my squat a lot easier, whether it's here or if we have the equalizer down, then we have our heels up on the equalizer here. So. And then back to Donovan's position here, if I wanted to do an assisted enhanced body weight squat or lunge, I can use equalizers to keep me nice and tall. For some people that don't have the balance, or they're just starting out and they need a little assistance, or they're a little bit older, this is a great way to do an assisted lunge.
You know, I mean, people we've worked with at our facility, we've done thousands, we've been in the industry for a pretty long time. We've worked with thousands of people who, when they came to see us, they couldn't squat, they couldn't do a lunge, they couldn't do any of that. Okay, what do we have here?
Yes.
Sounds working.
Comments? You got your glasses.
And then by using this tool, not only using it here, but using it at home, okay? They've seen dramatic improvement in their lunges. They've seen dramatic improvement in their squats just by this assist here. We're talking about all different age levels, right?
Yeah. Let's stay on that assisted theme. So assisted lunges, for example, if I have someone just starting in class, let's say had some knee issues, maybe some knee pain, some limitations, and they don't feel comfortable, just having these here make you feel a little safer. And you can come down to where you feel safe, where it feels comfortable, where there's no pain, and you can press out of it with your arms. So I'm assisting my body weight, taking some of the weight actually off, and eventually they work up to a single bar assistance and eventually work up to no bar. So a lot of that might just have to be with conditioning, might have to be with being overweight, but eventually, like Don said, they're going to progress and progress and progress. And just on that point with pain, never worked through pain, especially if it's acute, but for the most part, a lot of us are going to have some pain, and not moving generally over the long term makes it worse. So trying to work around and not through some pain is a really good thing. If I stopped working out because of all the different aches and pains that I have, I would never work out again. So
we would have been done at 14.
Okay, so assisted lunges and assisted squats with equalizers, but you can do the exact same thing with the HIIT system. So the HIIT system, it looks a lot like a suspension trainer, but it's different because it can move. You can see we have these big unilateral movements. But getting down into a low squat for some people might be difficult, so maybe they're just here on their own, but with a little bit of assistance, they can come down all the way. So we really like the HIIT system for assisted.
Exactly. No, I'm just going to give a different angle so we can get a little bit. So how it allows you to get that below 90 and lot of people, they couldn't even imagine going to this
Right,
point
yeah.
here. But they have that support, and they can just come up, squeeze the glutes at the top. And a lot of times you're limited, well, ankle, but you're also limited to how deep you can go in a squat based on the strength in your hamstrings. Okay, but people don't realize that as you go down to the bottom, coming up, a lot of this is engaging your glutes and hamstrings and coming up, squeezing at the top. So this allows you to do that.
And quite often when I'm starting with my personal training sessions, we'll use the bands. We use a lot of bands for warming up the shoulders, but then we get on the HIIT system and we'll do some prep work for squats. So we'll start here. I call this flossing. I'm gonna go down deep into a squat. Then we just spend some time down here rocking back and forth, opening up the knees, a little bit of work down here. Honestly, flossing up my knees feels so good. When I'm done, I actually feel space in my knees and it starts to open them up a little bit. So I like to spend some time down here. Then we go into our lateral lunges with an assist. Okay, so just getting the clients to move through different patterns. And then we go single leg and come back. So we do our single leg RDLs on both sides, and we'll go through 3 rounds of that. And then we're ready to start to hit maybe some loaded squats or something. But this is a great way to get ready to get into it.
100%. And you see how simply he made those movements work. And for somebody who is, as a trainer in the industry who trains on a regular basis, yeah, that seems simple. But for the average person, that's the support they need. They wouldn't even be able to maintain that balance in order to do those movements. Right? The single leg, so, right?
And then whatever we're showing you now with the equalizer and the HIIT system to regress an exercise, you can use it to progress as well. So I can take a simple exercise like a squat using a little bit of assistance from the HIIT system, and I can add a press. So I can press down. So now I'm working full body. I'm starting to get a little more plyometric, a little more bounce, a little more energy into it, a little more cardio. So I'm using the exact same tool with the exact same exercise for regressions and progressions.
I love this movement. Your heart rate goes through the roof. You engage those tries. I just worked a couple of reps through there. So I like to get nice and deep. Okay, come up and then push.
Absolutely love this one.
Power through. Okay. Again, you can jump as high as you want. You don't have to jump very high. You don't even have to leave the floor. I can come up and engage my calves that way. But either way, you can hear me already just for a few jumps. My heart rate is already up.
So if we go back to the equalizers and we look at our lower body. So again, for warm up, whenever I do warm up, I always want to add at least one balance and some mobility work. So balance and mobility could be as simple as bringing my leg over and bringing my leg over and just getting the hips opened up and getting someone to actually balance on one foot, kind of strengthen and warm up the ankle, knee, and hip joints, and work the core. This might be a little bit high for some people. You can take your equalizer and simply put it down like this, or just use it as a guide, okay? So this is a great way to start to warm up. What I like to do for most of my clients is we're coming over, and then we just add a squat, a body weight squat in it, or we go over, and squat here. So we're just doing some nice gentle movements and starting to get our squats on.
100%. And if you want, you can also, again, variation. So I tend to go through and then we squat and kick through just like that.
Because Don's more advanced. He can do more squats than me.
So, and then again, if you got an XL, okay, you're actually bringing that leg up a lot higher, but I like the way you change it from if you put it to the side, if you have concerns about kicking over. And also, if you just don't like it at all, you're just concerned, you don't actually have to. You can pretend to, okay? Has the same effect.
It does have the same effect. If it's there just as a visual, it'll make you work a little bit harder. But then you could go into something really simple like this. So we could go in from a squat here on the equalizers into a hip hinge to stretch out, and then just into a quick knee up. And then we're working through 3 things. Squat, hinge with a stretch for the lats, and a swing through. So I can take 3 really simple things and put it into a flow. So that could be a nice flow at the start of a class. So if you're looking for group fitness programming, we can show you a ton of that as well.
Okay, so I wanted to, we're talking about advanced body training, things going to the next level, progression. pistol squats.
Oh,
Okay. Is it too big of a jump? Did I jump too far?
oh, I love it. So I'll show you, I'll let Don show you pistols, but in terms of pistols, just understand that it's very advanced and it's almost like a whole course on its own. So
Exactly. All right. So, okay. So
you do
you're
whichever
correct.
one you want.
Right. So I just find that I'll be honest with you, I myself I can't do a pistol squat. So I'm not going to pretend and say like I can do it. Knees, probably my ankle mobility. There's issues there that prevent me from doing it. My kids can do it no problem, so forth, right? But what I like about this is that one, about the balance tied to it. Two, that I can still engage my quads and my hamstring glutes safely, and I have the support of the bars for it. So from here, I put my foot right at the front of the bar, okay? And then I extend out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back. And I'm going to go as far down as I feel comfortable going, because I do know that the bars are there for support. So as I shift back into my pistol squat, come here, and I take my hands off the top, okay? Just to show that it's not all arm work, okay? So from here, go just out and I go through.
High five, someone make sure.
Okay. Okay. Within about 3 reps, I can feel my quads engage hugely, but I'm also feeling my hamstring and glutes engage, and we switch up. Remember, if you have limitations, the point is not to take yourself to a point that doesn't make sense. Like if you can hinge back, and this is all you can do, then eventually you'll get to a point where you can do deeper, okay? And maybe eventually you get to a point where you can do a pistol squat, if you choose. They're not for everybody. Right?
No, they're not for everybody, but like Don said, this is a really simple regression. And if you can, start to work in some single leg work into your strength training for your legs. So squats, bunny hops, frog jumps, lunges, jump lunges, all that stuff is great, walking lunges. But working on single leg work, even if you can't go very low, is just going to light up your entire nervous system. It's very challenging. But also, like, this is crazy how hard there's just this little bit of balance is going to feel, in all those supporting muscle groups and your glutes. So a great one for the glutes. If you want to take, with the equalizers, your pistols to the next level, okay, we can come all the way down to the floor. But for me, with a little bit of ankle mobility, could probably be better, and a long lever here. When I get down to the bottom, sometimes I just, right? Yeah. So I'm going to come down all the way, and I'm going to use equalizers to get up.
Look at that.
So full pistols, and I have a little bit of an assist, and enhanced body weight to get out. If I do about 10 on each side, get a couple sets in, I can start to get away from using my hands on equalizers, but it gets me there.
Yeah. No, that's nice. That's perfect. That's my next step.
That's right. Let's go.
Not in front of everybody, no.
That's you want to show them the resistance bar?
Yes.
Okay. So the new resistance bar is absolutely fantastic. And again, most of our tools, people think they're for upper body mostly. So they see the resistance bar and they're thinking, okay, I can do curls, I can do upright rows, but we can do a lot of leg work with this as well. So we'll start with 2 of the basics. Okay, stepping nice and wide, comes with 2 bands. I'm gonna do my deadlifts. Okay, stretch and squeeze, stretch and squeeze. And then if I want to get into some loaded squats, I'll stand on the single one here. 1, 2, get it over top.
There you go. Yeah.
And now I have a little bit of extra weight for my squats. Okay, most of the weight's at the top, which is fine. If I do enough reps, I'm going to feel this. Even this is maybe an extra 30 pounds, but it's enough. It'll let up real quick. Okay.
Well, even from that position, you can do step back lunge also.
Yeah, I can do lunges there too. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get out of there. So that's our new resistance bar.
So he mentioned doing the RDLs with this movement. We could also just do different types of deadlifts. If we want to do like a sumo squat, we'll use that for example. So I can go through here. I just have wider stance. I come up, and so it's more of a deadlift from here. And remember, we have the red bands, we have the yellows. And we have the blacks, they give you
and a really
way
thick ones
way more tension. Like I can feel that.
Yeah.
Just a couple of reps, like it's amazing. So this is a great movement for engaging hamstrings, inner thighs, and glutes.
Okay, so let's go and do, get away from the squats and lunges for a minute and teach you how to do proper hamstring curls / hip extension on the equalizers. Sound good?
Sounds perfect.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get down. My heels are gonna be on the foam pad. The big mistake people make with this one is draping their ankles over. So heels on the foam pad, dorsiflex, hands are on the EQs.
Why are your hands on the EQ?
Well, because when we go up and we're moving the EQs, I don't want them to slip out, so I want to make sure I have control. Okay? And it also keeps me from trying to do the exercise too far away and not getting any movement. I want to get some movement in this exercise. So we're going to start.
So it kind of cues you, puts you in the right position, right? Yeah. So
exactly. Okay, and who knew these things were so useful? We're going to come up and squeeze. So a lot of times people just do this, a little bit of hamstrings, but I want them to really finish that rep up and really squeeze the glutes, like you're pushing this way, like in wrestling, trying to buck somebody off.
So just to be clear, okay, the full extension that Mark just did, it's not easy. So don't think of it that's easy. A lot of people cannot even do that, okay? So this takes work, okay? Mobility in order to go through, and he's targeting everything that goes right through hamstring, glutes, right into your lower back, okay? Some of the calves are obviously working well.
Yeah, you know what, even just holding that while you point, I'm like, ooh, yeah, feeling that. And then the third part, if you want, you can add the extension. So up, squeeze, extend out. I'm pushing down. I'm not just bringing the bar back, the equalizer back. I'm pushing the equalizer into the ground, down, squeeze, pushing into the ground, continuing, and down. So I'm not wasting any of that time while I'm working. A lot of times people will do 10 reps, they're like, I feel a little bit. I feel a bit after 2 reps. So you want to make sure you keep that time under tension.
That's like a leg curl on steroids.
Yeah.
Right there. Okay, so it's really taken to the next level. So that's unbelievable. Again, that's an advanced movement, right?
Yeah, you can just start with the hip extensions and then you can add the curl. If you want to make that tougher, which is easy to do, as always, just add volume. Just do more reps, more sets, superset it, giant set it, and then you can also go single leg. I'll show you single leg real quick. Okay, so we're coming up. So we're up, I'm squeezing, I'm out, I'm back, and I'm down. Squeeze, stretch, back, and down. Okay? And whitest legs in fitness, everyone. I
can't say that for me. So.
No.
Okay. So just a little sidebar in regards to that. So when we include that in our classes here at the Nation, I'll start off with like a 20 rep set of doing the hip extensions on the equalizer. And some of our clients have been here for a while and they're like, oh, only 20 reps? I go, yeah, but you don't realize that we got 3 sets that we're going to be doing. There's going to be 4 sets. So by the time you get into your second round of it, that 20, you start to die at 12. That third round, you're already dying at 8, okay? And so it's always an eye-opener to people about how hard it is. It's just like when you do a push-up on an equalizer and you go through the full range of motion.
Right.
We have all these superstars who can do 50 push-ups, all of a sudden they can barely do 20.
Exactly.
Right? So,
yeah, I mean, everything can be done with more intention. Yeah. Really. Yeah. I just thought I'd run over and grab these. It's hardly look like the part of the wall now. These are our new gliders. And gliders for me, for hamstrings, talk about enhanced body weight. So I get into this position here. I don't care if you go in any gym and get on any machine that costs how much? $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Get a couple gliders, you get the hips up, and you come up like this. This here, we usually do a minute. So about 60 reps. You can go here, but you can also go range. So you do a set of those, stretch out right after, a set of those, stretch out right after, recombine them with some of the equalizer work or the deadlifts with the resistance by deadly.
So they're very intense, okay? A modified version of that is some people maybe they have very weak hamstring. They can actually keep your butt on the ground, and you can go through and get used to that tension that's placed on there. Because for some people that'll be enough, right? Or you can do both legs pulling in at the same time, which takes it up a notch, right? So if you think the single leg one, do two at the same time, it really does put a lot of pressure. I wouldn't suggest you doing it right away without having a little bit of experience, but you're going to feel it. You're going to try it. Oh no, okay, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to move on to the next one. So this one is for the adductors, so the inside of the leg, because I want to show you an adductor exercise on EQ. Okay. But since I'm up, we'll stay with this one. So we're just going to get into a nice low lunge on the single leg, and we're going to kick out and kick in. Now again, like the hamstrings, when I bring equalizer up and bring it in, if I'm not being intense and I'm not being intentional, I can just do this. This leg obviously is going to get worked. What's the best angle? Okay, this leg obviously and glutes are going to work. And this leg here sometimes, not really feeling it, but now I'm pushing in, squeezing, pushing in, squeezing. Whew, that's a different beast. So I'm using the gliders to enhance that movement. Great exercise for strengthening the knees, for athletics, and just for anybody who wants to get a full, well-rounded leg workout.
Oh, 100%. And one of the things that I like to add to it, so that exact one of my favorite movements is, again, as you pushing in and pulling in at the same time, and then you come in through and you cross through. And again.
Oh, I like that. Almost like a curtsy lunge.
Yeah, 100% curtsy lunge.
Crossing that midline too, really good. I like that.
Okay, so.
Right. So we'll take the gliders and move them off to the side and show you a similar movement with equalizer. So when we teach equalizer courses, if you're watching this as a trainer and you want to train with us, we can run you through the 4-hour how to EQ workout. This is the one exercise where I always just take our time and just let everybody know this particular exercise progression. The progression for this is most people shouldn't do. Okay, it's a bit of a contraindicator for knee health, but let me show you what most everyone can do. It's called star position. So I have the whole top of my foot across the foam pad, the whole edge of my foot on the ground, and I'm going to go 50-50 in terms of pressure. So I'm pressing down with this hip, pressing down with this foot, tightening my glutes, so I'm forward. I'm going to reach through. So I'm getting a nice star position / side plank, tons of obliques, and tons of the rest of the body too. Oh, yeah. Absolutely fantastic. So it's a really cool way just to progress your side plank in your group fitness class and your boot camps and your home training.
Mm-hmm. And what's the next level?
Next level I'll show you with my other leg, because all the years of athletics, I don't have an ACL in that knee, so it's definitely contraindicated for me. We're going to go here, and we're going to get into our side plank, okay? So remember, start position, but I can come up and down. Maybe I want to take a little break, and then come up, or I can just do multiple reps. This one here will have you walking like John Wayne the next day. Now, obviously, with the foot on, it's a long lever length, so you could do it on a bench and just have it up to the knee, so it's a little bit easier. So the weight's here and not here.
Perfect. All right.
But providing no biomechanical limitations on the knees, try and for something as difficult as that, just try 2 or 3 reps on each side.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you have to work your way up. So just, the worst thing you do is just kick out 25 reps or something like that you've never done before.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be texting us the next day to figure out about it. All right, excellent.
Okay, cool.
What else do we got?
So I want to show you split squats next. Split squats are one of my favorites because equalizers, we have 2 of them. If you're training in class, sometimes we'll let people use 2 because they're new and they have to balance, so they have their hands on one and they have their shoelaces on the foam pad. And we're going to go into our split squats, okay? Now, a lot of times people will do these types of exercises so far away, and all I'm getting is just a really long hip flexor stretch, which is fine. But what I want to do is really load that front leg. So this is here. Sometimes people say it's moving. Well, that's okay, because really this leg should be laid anyways. I'm focused on the front leg. Working through that front leg, getting a nice stretch, working my ankle and my foot and my quad and my glutes. Now I can come down, I can kick out, I can kick in, spend a bit more time down here, up, down, kick out, kick in. I can even do hops. Oh, single leg works so much harder than double leg.
So if you notice, and I know he explained it, but he had hardly any weight on the bar there. As he was coming up, you could see his foot was just barely touching. It's not about pushing down. You're talking about the supporting leg, one that's actually doing the work, okay? That is just there for the movement.
Just there for a little bit of balance and just to have the leg out of the way and a little bit of assistance, but honestly, I'm trying my very best not to use it at all.
Yeah, that's not easy.
Ooh.
Hello.
Make sure you do both sides or you'll just be walking in circles. You'll never get out of the gym.
So I want to jump on the system again for a second. I know we used it as a progression regression allows you to do squats and allows you to do lunges for if you have balance issues or knee issues or so forth. But I also use it as a powerful tool for my workout. So we can do a step back lunge. Okay. So I start off in, maybe I'll go from here. Okay. Angled position. Okay. I'm going to step back, make sure I'm stable. So initially I start off, I put my foot on the ground and I come up and drive that knee up. Okay. As I'm feeling confident with this movement, I can actually not put the foot on the ground. I'm working on my stabilizers and driving.
So I'm talking about right there.
Motion just like that.
See, this is great. We get together once a month. Because honestly, like I'll do my best. Don and our other partner, Rod, we'll do our best to jump in each other's classes and some of our instructors' classes, just to, change things up, see what's going on. But like that is so great. Imagine that for a kickboxing class, how great that is. Imagine like 9 round has our hit system in all their locations worldwide. So now they can add that. Drew, if you're watching this, that's a great one to throw in for sure. Okay. So speaking of a little more athletic, and this one's near and dear to my heart because when my mother passed away because of a hip operation, she broke her hip because she fell, like a lot of older people. And my brother, who's a trainer, and myself constantly said, you got to stop shuffling, right? And she tripped and fell. So this one's near and dear to me. I want everyone to practice moving laterally and practice getting their feet up. And that's what's so great about the equalizer as an agility ladder, because it forces me to get my feet up. So this is a great tool for boot camps. It's a great tool for cardio, athletics. I love using these in the kickboxing class. Line a bunch of them up, have all the athletes go through, and then equalizers are lined up on the other side, and have them come through with hip openers, plyometrics, jumping over, crawling under. So a lot of great leg and cardio work can be done with equalizers as a ladder.
Perfect.
Yeah, cool. Should we set it up? Let's go.
We have video of that.
Cut the video. Back in the day, the very first video we ever shot with equalizers, Don, myself, and there was a group of us out in a big turf.
Yeah, that was the hangar.
The hangar. It was very athletic, and I look at it now, I'm like, ooh.
We were jumping over it like no problem. As you get 52, you kind of rethink things. But that was like a piece of cake. I didn't even give it a second thought.
No, not at all. Yeah, we didn't have the XLs. All right, looks like Don's grabbing gliders here.
Okay, so we talked about working lower body, engaging the hamstring, quads, and our glutes, but we also wanted to talk about elevating the heart rate. Okay, so I'm going to throw in a couple of cardio things that I do. We just finished off using equalizer, but I'm going to use a glider. So simple one that you don't even need the gliders for, but takes it to the next level, is mountain climbers, okay? So,
You want with this?
yeah, I'm gonna use the bar. Okay. So, we use equalizers a lot here, not only for just what they're used for, but in order for, like, we have people who have issues with their wrists, and so we're not necessarily from training with us. Maybe it's something from work, maybe just carpal tunnel. So its grip is a very comfortable grip, whether you're doing push-ups, mountain climbers, things like that. So a lot of our clients will choose to go with this before they do these exercises. And then you can actually go to different levels. So if I go a little bit higher, I've made the movement a little bit easier versus coming down. Okay, so from here, keep my head up, and I'm powering through my core nice and tight. If I made you do this for 30 seconds, okay, everything is engaging at that point, right? My quads are burning, my heart rate's going up. Why did it keep going up? Through the motion just like that. But I can also turn it into a squat thrust where I drive through, I'm engaging my core,
Yes.
pushing out, okay? If I want to make it, we're not doing upper body, but I can also add them in there. These never slip off my feet. I'm right now doing it.
When you're on camera, they do.
You know what I'm saying? But the mountain climbers, the squat thrust, using those gliders, you can also do them from the floor, but the benefit of doing them on equalizers is just for your wrist grip strength and strengthen your wrist.
I really like the tip that Donovan had with the hands up higher versus lower, the angle. Sometimes just a simple little adjustment like that will dramatically change the exercise. So I love that. That's awesome. And I think a lot of times people are confused with strength training and cardio. Cardio, yeah, you could run on a treadmill. You can do all these different things for cardio. My favorite way to do cardio is, first of all, HIIT. I like my heart rate getting way up there. But just putting together a couple simple moves together. So let's say Don had the gliders there.
Yep.
I can start with just forward and back, just a really quick sprint. I'm going to sprint for 30. I'm going to do the gliders for 30. And like Don said, if I'm here doing mountain climbers, right? I have a bit of a bounce on the calf. It is a different beast. If I have the gliders, I'm pushing almost like through.
It's like
to quick
two completely different exercises,
yeah.
right?
It's the same exercise, but totally different.
Yeah.
It's weird. So then I'm going to go there, and then maybe I'll just use the equalizers so I don't have to come all the way to the ground again. Nice and easy on the wrist. 1, 2, so a modified, more accessible burpee. So right there, I'll do 3 exercises, 30 seconds each. Gassed, take a little break, go through that 3, 4, 5 rounds. That's it. Simple. Cardio, simple.
Keep forgetting to remind people,
Yes.
we're on YouTube to subscribe. Okay, to subscribe to our channel. Okay, click that button. Okay, you're gonna get content on here that is, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you beyond what you'll find anywhere. You might as well get it from the innovator, the inventor. Okay, of these bars, then go outside of that. And I know we mentioned this before, but if you have non-Lebert Fitness product, first thing you should get this, the originals, okay, because they are on sale, okay? But if you want to learn how to use them properly, you can still come out to us, talk to us about it, okay? Reach out to us, we'll tell you how to use it, okay? Not all bars are created equally, but the exercises you can still do on the ones that you have. Okay.
And one of the things, like Don said, we are the originators. We've been doing this for almost 20 years, so we have a lot of knowledge around this product specifically and a lot of knowledge around enhanced bodyweight training. But we have so much great stuff for you. I have a 28-day program that's free. All you have to do is sign up. It gets delivered to you. Week 1 is learning how to use the equalizers, kind of owning the basics, and week 2 is a little tougher. And week 3, and some of the nasty emails I get by the time people make week 4, it's amazing. So lots of great free content for you guys.
And just to throw something in there, we have veteran clients who signed up for that and thought they knew it all. And thought that workouts were easy. They're not easy at all, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's good for a beginner because it takes you progression through, okay? But even if you're an experienced athlete, still take advantage of it because there's a lot you can learn from it.
Absolutely, and I saved some of our secrets. I can't give it all away. some for
You know, you go to commercial, I'll tell you right after commercial.
And if you're watching this video not live, but after the fact, you have questions, you can reach out to us right here. We'll keep an eye on the videos, but also through our website, through Instagram, so many different places to find us, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay,
All right.
I think we're done.
I think we're good.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay,
It's been a
again,
pleasure.
enhanced bodyweight training here on our Lebert Fitness Monthly. I am Donovan, master trainer for Lebert Fitness and co-owner of Lebert Fitness Nation. And we have the franchise here, Mark Lebert, the inventor, the god, the man with the whitest legs.
Yes.
That's it. That's what he said. That's what he said. Okay. Well, thank you. I look forward to seeing you next month for part three of this series of enhanced bodyweight training and why you should come to Lebert Fitness for that.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
So you could hear.